I mean, a lot of people are afraid of honesty. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid to show who they are.
That's paying DJs to play their shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, many individuals are scared of trustworthiness. You understand what I'm talking about. They reluctant to show who they are, since that is paying DJs to play right. You understand what I'm talking about. They the record mark chief. And it's like there's a lot of that going on. Biggie passed on Tupac, kicked the bucket. There was the battle between who was the top rapper, now Nas and Jay-Z. And afterward, before you know it, Nas has a mental meltdown. And he's assuming you're a mostly savvy individual. When do you begin addressing how fortunate continue to move right? So when DMX died on April 9th, 2021, the web all in all grieved the departure of a genuine hip bounce legend who had made a permanent imprint on the East Coast rap scene. Notwithstanding how as the news spread, it seemed like there may be more going on than what at first met the eye, while reports referred to a prompted cardiovascular failure as the reason for death. Fits of hearsay started twirling, pointing fingers at, as a matter of fact, the notorious music magnate Jay-Z. Currently, we should dig a little more profound. It's an obvious fact that DMX battled with enslavement, with purportedly assuming a critical part in his declining well-being. Yet in the midst of the gab about his own fights, one more account arose, one that dug into the well-established quarrel among DMX and Jay-Z. These two titans of East Coast rap once shared arranges and visited together as a feature of the Super Gathering during Jay-Z's difficult existence visit close by different heavyweights, like J. Rule's Strategy Man and Redmond, their cooperation on tracks like Cash H. From Jay-Z's Vault 2 Difficult Existence collection shook the business to its music center, we have found what conceivably the main visit through the year, the Hard Thump Live visit. Yet in the background their relationship was a long way from agreeable, from their initial days, engaging it out in the Bronx, to later conflicts energized by self-image DMX. And Jay-Z's cutthroat soul frequently eclipsed their colossal ability. Unpleasant Riders, the stalwart diversion organization that once overseen DMX, otherwise called Darkman X, shed light on this dynamic during a sincere extended interview on the Morning Meal Club on Influence 100 and 5.1 vote. And Seofen, dignitary of Unpleasant Riders, didn't keep down, recognizing the well-established contest between the two specialists as a significant snag to coordinated effort, particularly when Jay-Z accepted the reins as leader of DJam in 2004. Recollect that unbelievable pool corridor rap fight in the Bronx, where Jay-Z and DMX broadly got down to business in the mid-90s, well as per unpleasant scholars. Despite the fact that they called it a tie, the strain waited long after the rhymes were spit. We called it even on the grounds that the two of them were dope. X felt like he took it, figured he did. As such, there was consistently this enmity in the air. Harsh writers spilled in their meeting. And as per D, that fight made things a smidgen abnormal once Jay-Z accepted the enormous seat as president to DMX. He was like, I won, I'm superior to you, D said. So when H turned out to be president at DJam, he felt like he needed to pay all due respects to him. And X could have done without that. He felt some sort of way about H directing his future. And they didn't fight, they sort of it was, we called it a draw since the two of them was great. So we said, oh, it's a draw. X felt like he won. Heck, feel like he wins. So it was an enmity there, generally a verbal, yet it was simply to him like, I won, I'm superior to you. So when H ended up a president at Def Jam, he felt that he had the response to him. Xing like that, quick forward a little, and DMX in the end ed ways, with DJam picking to ink an arrangement with Columbia Records in 2006. Now raps are essentially as normal as shoes in the hip jump world. Yet the possibility of Jay-Z contributing to DMX's ruin probably won't be as unrealistic as it appears to be after this isn't the initial time. All has been blamed for playing filthy for his own benefit. Trust Pumarie. She's been dropping truth bombs for a really long time. In one meeting, she reviewed her most memorable experience with Jay-Z back when he was simply one more eager MC attempting to make it in New York evidently. He was moving with Enormous L, who was very nearly exploding, however. At that point, unexpectedly, Enormous L's star blurred, and Jay-Z's rose to unmistakable quality occurrence. Panther thinks not he appeared as that was with Large L Huge L, was who placed Jay-Z on. And afterward, Large L kicked the bucket, and afterward, the Before You Know It Jay-Z. And afterward, there's that entire adventure with famous Enormous and Tupac recollect, when Jay-Z was cozying up to Biggie and Diddy, fabricating a strong compatibility well after Biggie and Pac's unfortunate demise. Everything transformed into a standoff between Jay-Z and Lil Nas, with Jay apparently dominating the competition. Puma raises an admirable statement. How often could one individual at any point luck out before you begin scratching your head? And considering what's truly happening, big deal, passed on Tupac, kicked the bucket. There was the battle between who was the top rapper, now Nas and Jay-Z. And afterward, the Before You Know It, Nas has a mental meltdown. Assuming that you're a mostly shrewd individual, when do you begin addressing how fortunate some continue to get? Additionally, there's the rapper Coolio, keep going year on an arbitrary Wednesday. Coolio died at a companion's place in La. He went to the restroom, and when his companion looked at in, he found Coolio cold on the floor. Paramedics affirmed he didn't make it. Now, for quite a long time, the subtleties on Coolio's demise were a secret group thought a hard thing given his well-being fights, yet a few people, including Keo's team and family, realized he had some medical problems, yet others began pointing fingers at Jay-Z. Why Coolio did interviews, indicating he could spill some industry tea, uncovering obscure people. Individuals thought Jay needed to quiet him before he let the cat out of the bag. Later specialists said Coolio had undiscovered heart issues, prompting his passing, yet that didn't stop the murmurs regarding Jay-Z being involved now, separated from the entire connivance. Gab about Jay-Z supposedly being engaged with K-phrasing individuals. There's additionally discuss him moving with some unacceptable group. Take a gander at his pals like Diddy and R. Kelly. A few people even case that G's done a few things that make Diddy and R. Kelly seem to be holy people in correlation. Yet here's the contort. While he could have a few sketchy partners, Jay-Z has that secret weapon as his better half's great PR. It resembles he's remaining unnoticed, without really having to try, unobtrusively limiting any association with his buddies when they end up in steaming hot water. So some time ago, Jay wasn't precisely a mind-blowing phenomenon story, like a portion of his mates in the music business. In the meantime, R. Kelly was at that point a major name in the R&B scene, and Diddy was causing disturbances in the record mark world. Ultimately, their ways crossed, and Jay wound up teaming up with the two of them on different undertakings. Now, Jay and R. Kelly, they were tight both inside and outside the studio. They hit up similar gatherings, shopped at similar spots, and surprisingly, shared a couple of heartfelt interests. Yet here's where things get tacky. Since R. Kelly's been called out for being a killjoy, people are beginning to contemplate whether Jay could have been in on it. There's discussion drifting around that Jay wasn't choosing not to see R. Kelly's tricks. Certain